Welcome to That's What She Said, where we'll spill the tea on women empowerment in the Great Lakes Bay region with your host, Christiana Malacara.
Hi, and welcome to an episode of That's What She Said with Christiana Malacara. That'd be me. And today is a very special, like every other day. Honestly, they're all special days, but today is especially special. Yes, especially special because it is the first episode of our second season of That's What She Said. So that hard reset, we all did it and we're moving forward and so excited to do so. We have a great lineup of guests for this second season, and we're also always looking for more. So if there's someone who has inspired you, a woman who just really just lit that fire inside of you and you're moving forward, or if you're that person and everyone keeps telling you, hey, you're a great leader, girlfriend, give us a call, email us, send us a message, let me know. And then we can have a conversation. And then that conversation might actually go on air. So ways to contact us here on the Facebook page, on my email address. And then always when you tune in, there are plenty of options on WSGW's website on ways to get a hold of us. So I was in the moment of reflecting, and I like to start a That's What She Said days with that kind of reflection that I had done from the week prior. And I feel like there's a lot of people in my life who are in a point of their lives where you just are satisfied on where you're at. You're like, hey, things are going pretty well right now. Or maybe they're not going as well as you planned, but you're just like, this is day one, we're good here. We're good here. Good things are going to happen the next day and the next day. And then you keep adding on to that, right? So be happy where you are today because it's a good day. Because That's What She Said day. And we have a wonderful guest with us. This person is so near and dear to my heart. We just figured out that we have been friends for more than half of our lives. So if you have a girlfriend who you just like, that's your girl, right? You've known them for so long. Send them the YouTube video, send them the link, send them the Spotify, and tell them that you appreciate them because I sure do appreciate our guest today. Miss Tara Welch. When I knew her, she had a different last name. But needless to say, here's Tara. Hi,
Yeah.
Tara.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Why is it that you're doing so great today? What is new today?
What is new today is I officially am the president and CEO for The Rock. So my promotion is today. We've been working towards this for the past 6 to 7 months, and it's been a lot of fun training and getting to where I needed to be. But now that it's finally here, it's nice. It's a nice sense of accomplishment.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What is The Rock?
The Rock is a center for youth development. We do programming with kids starting in 6th grade all the way up to post-secondary, and we do a lot of different leadership skill development. We focus on developmental assets and how to build those in our youth so we can raise and have these kids be really independent when they get older and be a great part of society.
Where's this located?
We're located in Midland and now at Delta College. We just opened not yet. So on January 6th, we open our new site, and then we're across the whole state, right? We work with different teachers. We travel around. We've trained people in Florida. We've trained people in Texas. We've really made a big impact around, but office wise, we're in Midland.
Great. I have been there, and it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat dynamic space. Yeah. Outside and maybe before The Rock, how is it that the community knew you? Because you've been pretty community involved for quite some time.
Yes. So the community originally probably met me through Studio 23 in Bay City. That's where I really learned that whole phrase, community development, and what is that? I was able to start my job there teaching art, which is was a huge passion of mine, and I would say still is. I think that's incredibly important for people to be creative, right? So I started there and just got involved with anything and everything I possibly could. Anything that I thought would better myself and better the organization, I like jumped in headfirst and said yes. So probably know me from there.
How long were you there?
9 years.
Wow. And
Mhm.
what was your ending role there?
Executive director.
Those are big titles.
Yeah.
And I have to say, you mentioned being creative.
Mhm.
How has creativity played a role in your life, moving through your career?
Yeah. I feel like being creative when you're running a nonprofit organization is extremely important, right? Because we don't want to be the same old thing every single day. We need to continue to reinvent ourselves and think of new things we can do and new ways to implement our mission. So being creative helped me think outside the box and be able to take risks, because when you're creative, you're going to try something until it works, right? Like even if you think about painting and quilting and all these different things, we keep experimenting. And I think with nonprofits, that's the same thing. We're experimenting. We're going to figure it out. We're going to try something new. If it doesn't work, shucks, but we'll get back up and we'll do it again.
When you're talking about nonprofits, it sounds like you've been in the nonprofit sector your entire career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
Have you ever not been?
A long time ago, I was working at Old Navy and I was one of their managers. So that was like my only really like corporate
Okay.
job. Otherwise, it's been nonprofits.
So this nonprofit is instilled in you in a sense.
Mhm.
This is part of your DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. And I think it's because it's such a sense of service, right? And I really think that nonprofits get created in our communities because there's a gap missing. And so to be a part of something that can fill a gap for our community and serve a need and serve our families is incredibly important. And that's what feels good to me, is like serving that need.
What is the gap that the Rock serves?
Oh, there's a couple gaps, but our overall gap, I would say, what we're known for here in this region is our out of school time programming. So that gap for families of your kids, yeah, maybe they're old enough to go home, but do you really want them home by themselves, or do you want them socializing with their friends and working towards their academics and being with a community? And so that's what we serve for the Rock. We serve that in between space where we can support families and take care of their children while they can finish their workday, and then they can come grab them before they go home.
What is that dynamic for you working with youth? I'm comparing it to working in an art studio.
Yeah.
What was there youth involvement in the art studio? Was there youth? I mean, how does that look?
Yeah. So when I started at the art studio, I was teaching the kids classes. So I was always with the kids, and that is always exciting for me because I think education is another part of my background that's really important. That's how I started my career, right? I was teaching. I taught K through 4 art. I taught at any facility that would let me come in and teach independent classes. And so I was just like independent teacher that ran around. And with the kids at the studio, it was so much fun. And it was really hard for me to give up that component when I moved into more of the director role. But I knew something had to give. And that was a way that we could support. Actually, it ended up being another student from SVSU that came over and taught the kids classes. So it was a great opportunity to give someone else that magic of teaching, right? So then when I went to the Rock, I felt like it was a way for me to reconnect to that like childhood education and to really focus on that part. And so I've gone in a couple times to do art lessons with the kids. It's a lot of fun. Just go in and kind of be around them and like have that energy, and it's really fun.
Yeah,
It's really fun.
art is fun.
It is.
So let's talk about art and
Okay.
your your formal education.
Mhm.
Okay, how do those two play together?
So my formal education is from Saginaw Valley State University, go Cards. I have a bachelor's in art and a bachelor's in history. So originally I thought, well, I'll go on to teach. I was going to, I knew that teaching in a public school probably wasn't for me. I was thinking more like museum and like galleries and figuring out how to teach within those private sectors. And then I ended up at the studio, which changed my career a little bit, but that's okay. I think those are supposed to happen. But what I've learned today in my strengths is that I do love to learn, and that's why I love history so much. So when I was taking art classes, you have to take art history, you know this. We have to take so many art history classes to get your degree. Well, then I just kept taking more history classes on the side, and pretty soon I only needed like 4 extra history classes to graduate with my degree in history. And I was like, yeah, let's slap on another bachelor's.
Oh my goodness.
So that's what I did.
The way I know
But-
Tara is very much a I don't know how to say this, an overachiever. But in the best ways possible. The best ways possible. So you're like, okay, 4 more credits, why not? We'll have 2 bachelors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I
So-
mean, when you're there that long, it's not that much extra.
No, not at all. just more school. Yeah. So that passion of learning,
Yes.
where do you think that came from?
My parents. My mom is an educator and my dad is a social worker. And throughout, I would say my whole life, they were always learning new things. And I saw them like taking classes and taking seminars and being involved with the community in different ways. And I think that does trickle down to your children. And then also when we think about art and learning art, there was many times where I would paint with my grandfather. And I have a few of those paintings hanging in my house that we painted together. So just thinking about that, like art was really ingrained in my life. And then from my dad's side, I would say like really artistic. And then my mom's side is she was very, focused on education. And so those 2 passions kind of like combined for me.
Creates a go-getter. A go-getter with thick skin.
Yeah. And I'm the oldest child.
Oh, well, there we go.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, there's so much that goes along with that in itself.
Yes,
okay.
there is. Yes.
Okay. So you're the oldest child. How many siblings do you have?
I have 3. I have 2 brothers and a sister.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say you're a community leader. You have been for some time. As a community leader, what does that look like in your family dynamic with that your parents and your siblings?
Mhm.
Like, how do they take that in?
I just feel like with my family, I'm just Tara though.
Yeah.
They know what I do and they're very supportive of what I do. I always thought it'd be kind of fun someday to have like my siblings come to work with me. 'Cause when you say that you run a nonprofit, I don't think people can get their minds wrapped around what you do every day. It's just different. I'm not going in. I'm not like a shift worker that I go in and punch the clock. And I'm also not a worker that someone sets my schedule for me. So sometimes it's hard for people to visualize like what you do. So I always thought that would be interesting. So maybe they'll take me up on that someday. But yeah, with family, I think I'm just Tara, when I tell my grandma what's going on, I'm very close with my grandparents. And when I call her and I tell her like, hey, just want to let you know I'm getting promoted. And she just, oh, geez, another thing, like she's also retired. So she gets to, they have
Enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And so it's just funny because, I would say they're very proud of me, but it's, I don't know. I'm just Tara around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're able to put that guard down, take off that hat and just relax.
Yeah.
So, okay. You're describing a lot of things that the foundation of this is basically like self-motivation.
Mhm.
Am I on track with that?
Yeah, I would say that. I really feel that everything I've worked towards, I've done myself, definitely with the support of my husband and my family behind me. No one's ever told me, no, you can't do that, like within my immediate circle, right? But I like to keep things to myself when I'm doing things. So, for example, like when I was interviewing for the CEO role, I didn't tell anybody but my husband just because I don't know, you
Mhm.
kind of have to tell him, but like I
That's
didn't
your
tell
person.
I didn't tell anybody else. I was like, I'm just going to do this. This is like for me. And I really started having that mindset probably around 25, that when I was going to work towards something really hard, I was going to do it for myself, and I keep it to myself until I'm happy with my accomplishment, and then I'll share it with other people.
The age 25.
Probably, yeah. I want to
Probably around
say
then.
probably around 25. That's when I started to get like that.
I personally feel that's pretty young
Yeah.
to feel like I'm going to work towards